So, let's take a look at worksheet 25. I'm only going to do the odd numbers with you guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. I want you guys all to go ahead and stop whatever side conversation you're having so we can focus on this, please. I'd really appreciate that. I'm sure your classmates would appreciate that too. All right. So, number 1, we see that there's no points defined on the graph. Eli, take a seat. Where are you going? Okay, there's a trash can right here. You don't have to walk across the whole class. Come back over here. Just throw it away. So, the first step that we have to do is find our y-intercept, right? Where's our y-intercept here on this graph, Anthony? -3. Boom, right there. Right? And we can see that we're going to look for another point on this line that crosses the grid and that line nice and even, right? So we'll see, I see one right here on the x-axis at 3. But in reality, there's a whole bunch of points here, right, that we could plot and use to find the slope. They'll all give us the same slope no matter which 2 points we use. So I'm just going to use this one and this one. We found that our b was equal to -3. Let's write that down first so we don't forget. And then I'm going to rise from this point up to this one, and then we'll run over. So that's a rise of 1, 2, 3, and a run of 1, 2, 3. Rise over run gives us a slope of 3/3. Now we don't want to just plug in 3/3 to our equation. What are we going to plug in instead, Ben?
-3.
1, right? 3/3 is equal to 1. So we just simplify that fraction.
Where'd you get 1 from?
So 3/3 simplifies to 1, right? Just like 5/5 would simplify to 1.
But it says write the equation of each line in the slope intercept form. It doesn't say anything about simplifying.
I know. So simplifying is always going to be our last step, no matter what the question's asking. So we're going to use y equals mx plus b. We're going to take out the m and the b, and we'll replace the m with 1 and the b with
3.
-3. We got to be careful of that negative sign. It's going to be -3, right?
All right, then where did
Because our line crosses the y-axis down in the negative space. Now, when we see a plus next to a minus sign like this, what does it form?
a plus sign? I mean a minus sign.
There we go, a minus sign. That's right. If we're adding a negative, that's just like subtracting. Do we need to write this 1 in front of the x?
Yes.
No, let's not write that.
But why?
It just looks a lot cleaner. If you leave the 1, it's fine. It's not going to be wrong. You're not going to get points taken off. It's just cleaner to write it without the 1 because it's implied that, look, we only have one x here, right? So we don't need a 1 in front. We can see it's just 1x. Okay? Yeah.
Number four is kind of weird because there's not a second numerator number. It's just zeros.
So, okay, we'll get there. Yeah, let me see. What are you talking about?
Number 4.
So number 4, where's our y-intercept at number 4, Ben?
The middle.
Perfect. What's the value of b there?
0.
Perfect. Where do you see a second point?
Nowhere.
I see one right here on the very end of the arrow, and I see one right down there as well.
Oh.
Remember we talked about the arrows landing on the edge? That usually means that there's a point there. So we're going to rise 2 and run 5. Just like that.
Oh, I get it now.
Perfect.
I get it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to number 3. So number 3, where is our y-intercept at here? Eli, you see it? Where's it at?
-3.
That's close to being our x-intercept. What's our y-intercept though, Eli? Hold on.
4.
There we go. Perfect. Right there at 4, right? So b is equal to 4. Does anyone see another point here we can use? Because remember we talked about yesterday, there's almost a point right here at -3, but if you look real close, you see that it doesn't line up exactly. Ben, where do you see another point?
At the end of the line.
At the very end of the line, right here?
-5.
Perfect, that's right.
And then at the top of the line.
So we're not going to have one right there, but we do have one right there. We just have 2, right? So let's do our rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we simplify 7 over 5 at all? No, definitely not. Y is equal to 7 over 5x plus 4. Just like that. Questions on 3?
Oh, and then
Good. Sorry, I forgot to pass out the red pens. Just correct in pencil, or if you have a different colored pen that you want to use, that's fine. We'll do pencil today. All right, down to 5. Where's our y-intercept at 5? Anyone see it? Anthony, where's our y-intercept on number 5?
6, 1.
It's at 1, right there. It's wherever the line crosses the y-axis, right? So that's going to be at 1. Where do we see another point? Anthony, or where do you see another point, Anthony? At the bottom right here?
-4.
Yeah, there's definitely a point right there. Carlo, do you see another point that we could have used?
-2.
Hold on. Carlo, do you see another point we could use? Over at -2? Oh, -2, -2. Boom, like that. Perfect, that works. What about 2, 4? That one looks like it works too. And we can see that all 4 of these points are nice and evenly spaced out, right?
Yeah.
Each of them have a rise of 3 and a run of 2. Rise 3, run 2, and so on, just like that. So our equation looks like this. Y equals 3 over 2x plus 1.
Will these be in Google Classroom?
Yeah, so I'm recording this. It'll be in Google Classroom.
You're recording it right now?
Yeah, in the second period, I did the evens, so you can check your work on the evens from that video.
What's good, gang?
Let's not, please. Questions on the front? Okay. Over to 7. Where's our y-intercept? Do we even have one here? I think we do, but where's it at?
All the way up
5.
the top of
Yeah, all the way up at the very top. Thank you, Ethan and Justin. Way up there at 5, right? B is equal to 5. Now let's look for another point. Do you guys see any other points? I think I see a couple. Anthony? At the very bottom? Perfect, right there at the very bottom. Ethan, you see one in between there somewhere?
Yep, the 1 over 2.
1 over 2?
No,
1
2
over
on
3.
the.
Oh, right here?
No,
Oh, 2, 1.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, perfect. 2, 1. And there's also one right here at 1, 3, at 3, -1, and 4, -3. So there's a lot of points on this line. Doesn't matter which 2 points we use. If you pick something different, that's fine. As long as it's one of these 6, of course. So our rise and our run. Let's see. I'm going to go from this point here down to this corner point here, just to make it interesting. We're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go over 1, 2, 3. Right? So because we went down 6, we'll call that -6 over 3. And again, we don't want to just plug that fraction into our equation because it's not as simplified as possible. What would this simplify to?
3.
-6 divided by 3?
3.
Very close. It's going to be -2. A negative over a positive is a negative, and 6 divided by 3 is just 2. Right? 3 goes into 6 2 times. So y is equal to -2x plus 5. Going down to number 9.
Wait, how do we go from 7 to 9?
We're only doing the odd numbered ones. We're only reviewing the odd numbered ones.
I'm not good.
What's that? We did 4 because there was a specific question about it, but I didn't finish 4 because you guys can do that on your own. All right? So, just so you guys know, as opposed to turning in this worksheet today with only the odd numbers done, because that shows me you didn't even try at all to do it on your own, just take it home and do the evens on your own at home and just give it to me on Monday. All right? I don't want to see...
Will we get partial credit?
If you turn it in on Monday? No.
Full credit?
Yeah. It's not partial, it's got to be full, right? So, number 9, our y-intercept's right here at 4. I see a point right here on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2.
Are you serious right now?
I think you can do that 2 times.
Say that one more time?
You can do that 2 times.
Yeah, so we could have used this point, right, and gone up to over 1.
No, you can do the 4th. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, because pretty much those dot lines are pretty close. Like they look similar. You can do what you did on the top.
Really bad.
No, hold on. This is a good point. So, are you saying from one of these points down here?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could keep going and use any of these points down here.
Does that mean?
What you need?
Does that mean 8 goes?
Okay, so we don't just take stuff off the teacher's desk. The worksheets are in the back on that table. Okay.
I don't think you're funny. Bully me, bro. Too offended.
2 over 1 simplifies to 2. Y equals 2x plus 4.
What if I did 4 over 2? Thank you.
You'd still get 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2.
Oh, so you just simplified it?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, guys, listen up, please. It doesn't matter which 2 points you pick to do your rise over run, because all the fractions you find will be proportional to each other. Yes, Colin. So technically that's not an incorrect way to write it, but let's just keep it in this order. We're mx plus b, and let's just not do b plus mx. But we'll see today what a different kind of equation we can get from that is. So technically it's not mathematically wrong to write 4 plus 2x. Let's just write it like this though. So we're all the same. All right, number 11, our y-intercept is down at -4. Looks like we've got a bunch of points here that we could use, right? -4, m is, well, if we just, are you okay? Okay. So, guys, stop talking. Stop talking. Sure. Sure. So our slope is 1 over 1, but really we went 1 unit down, so it'll be -1 over 1, right? And what does -1 over +1 simplify to?
1.
Very close.
-1.
-1. All right? So our equation that we write is y equals -1x minus 4. Do we need to write that 1 in there?
No.
No, but we still have to write the negative. So let's rewrite this as y equals -x minus 4.
What if we just did it like the first one?
What's that?
Like, what if we just did y equals -1x minus 4?
What's that, Ethan?
What happens if we just did y equals -1x minus 4?
That's fine. That's fine too. It's the same thing. You could write it neater though just by taking out the 1.
Okay.
And then we're going down to number 13. Y-intercept is right up there at +4. The only other points are at our arrows right there. So it looks like we're going down 1 and over 5.
I did this one.
Look what I've done. I didn't get here. Please.
Okay, are there any questions on this worksheet? Perfect. Go ahead and give this worksheet to whoever's in seat number 1 of your group. I'll come by and collect it, and then please get out your notebooks and get ready to get set up for today's notes, okay?
Is it church? Is it okay if I take a minute breather outside?
Sure. Here's your first note. Let's go ahead and quickly get our heading set up and this first note written down. Yeah. What do you like to do? So you get more time, right?
A little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
Irish Spring. They go hard though.
I'm ready for those. For what? So I'm locked into there.
Good.
What?
Why did you bring all that money?
So it couldn't be.
Bill, why do you have money? You got her that way, but I ain't her that. Hello, take out your headphones. Thank you. You got dance on beats. I love.